Well. I am a glutton for punishment. Sadomasochist. That'll do. Sadomasochist. And I thought I would do the player ratings for the Sunderland game, but I thought I'd do it a little bit differently. I'm using the Finalysis app. So if you're not on the Finalysis app, get on board. It's very good. It's very good, if I say so myself. I'm one of the starting 11 Finalysis for West Ham on there, as well as there's people like Gary Killington. We've got Jamie Talks, Grace, Dan Lawless, and a Sloth from Babbling Irons. There's Josh, you see on TikTok. There's a whole bunch of Brian from West Ham Fan TV. There's a whole bunch of us on there who are the starting 11. And you can get involved as well. Go to finalysisapp.com and you can become a Finalysis, or you can download the app and just read what other people say. So rather than just my words and what I think, I thought I will provide some context from various other people. And so we all put our sort of match reports together. We put our player ratings together, and we put together some scores. So let's start. I'm only going to do the starting 11. Only do the starting 11. That'll do. Let's start with Mads. Obviously, debut. Quite rare this day nowadays that a player gets bought and thrown straight in. They're usually sort of bedded in and stuff like that. So fair play for him to coming in. Not the best debut, probably one of the worst goalkeeper debuts you've probably seen. And I've seen Roberto's debut. I thought he looked quite comfortable on the ball, particularly in the first half. Second half, I think I still think that for some of those, he was unsighted with the Sun. See, like the Sunderland players losing the forwards losing the flight of the ball in the sun. If that's the case, give him a fucking cap. Ian's got his make West Ham great again caps. Give him one of them. Not the greatest debut. And very much a game of two halves in terms of good first. He did a good save in the first half, and looked fairly comfortable. And I think my brother suggested he looked like he'd a glitch in the matrix for the third goal. He sort of like stopped and the ball went under his arm, and very strange. Based on the Finalysis results and the scores, they actually gave him, and I round it up rather than out of 100. They actually gave him a score of 30. Was it 32? 32. So 3 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's talk about Naif Aged. Now, Naif, let's just see what was said by the Finalysis boys and girls. Solid performance. His pace saved from further punishment, says Gary. He was beaten by the shorter Maeda in the air with little no fight for the Sunderland opener. He read the flight of the ball today, but it was like a flymo. Like a flymo ball from the beach shot front. Very good. Probably, I think he's probably out of the three centre backs. I thought he was probably the best out of all three. That's saying something. Harry says he expected more, if he was honest. Passing ranges, but didn't see his sort of the passing range as much as he normally would do. To be honest, I didn't really notice much about him until we conceded the goals. So he wasn't doing above and beyond, but we still conceded 3 goals. So based on that, he got a score of, I think it was 37. So I've rounded up to a 4. Using if it's 35, probably go under, but anything above 35 will be rounded up. Maximilian Kilman, obviously booked as well. For someone who's probably the tallest centre half we've got, he wasn't particularly aerially dominant as a defender. And did switch off quite a bit, as Gary said, so totally agree with that. Needs to be doing far more to command the back line, says Sloth. Worse the back three, says Harry. I said didn't really offer anything, gave sort of pointless fouls away a couple of times, particularly against the smaller Maeda, where he was literally sort of like bundling him over for quite cheap fouls. Not the greatest game for Max at all. So I gave, I can go smaller. I think overall he got 31 out of 100. Jean-Claire. So about Jean-Claire, Gary says classy defender who was let down by those around him, carried the ball at the midfield a lot. and second half stuck to the job where possible. Sloth reckons they're the only centre half to progress the ball and take us up the pitch. Totally agree with that. Harry says best of a bad bunch. Yeah, I think I'm the same as well. I was like, he tried to get stuff moving with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Didn't really work. And, sometimes, he just goes these gallivanting runs, which I don't mind, but it's what, and he's an end product, and there wasn't any end product at all across the whole side, in my opinion. But 𝗪𝗪𝗡, he got a decent score. He got for the rest of them, he got a 42. So that ain't a bad score, considering everyone else's scores. Let's talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Mr. Spider himself. Saw a lot of the ball, says Brian. But Sunderland doubled up on him in the second half. It was incredible, as I said. Reggie Le Bris looked at the first half and said, what's working, what's not working. And West Ham's wingbacks were so pushed up front that there was so much space behind them that he just went, look, it was almost like contain the pressure and just go out, bomb down the middle, bomb down the sides over the top. You're going to outpace the midfield, no problem at all. And the wing-backs are going to be so far up the pitch anyway. You've got to run on them. Gary says another progressive performance from him. Defensively sound and showed improving partnership with 𝗪𝗪𝗡. Sloth said, I mentioned a few areas of quality in the pitch, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was one of them, even though the right-hand side was clearly targeted by Sunderland. Harry says, bang average game, got caught out a couple of times from being too far forward. Me, I said, tried moving forward, but was often double-teamed, which he was. On the basis of that, Aaron got a score of 53 out of 100. The reason why I haven't put the whole number in is because I've only got 1 to 10 and I could do 100. I do apologise. Let's talk about Magic. Obviously, Premier League debut. Brian says one of the best. I love that picture. One of the best performances today. And was unlucky to not have scored. Definitely in the second half when that ball sort of went across and Fullkrug, and I was like, who's he passed it to? And then Diouf comes absolutely piling in. Solid game, says Gary. Some excellent flash in the first half from his cultured foot. Second half lost composure and quality delivered suffered. Of course, he suffered. Sloth said underutilized by his teammates. I totally agree. And rarely ever found with a pass that wasn't underhit or causing him to slow down. It's so true. He's clearly his strength. He's running onto the ball and running into space, and we weren't looking at it at all. Gray says the only player I was overall positive about today. Very effective first half. Was arguably the best opportunities in our best period. Unlucky he's not scored, said Harry. I said, a good first half, but second half wasn't as effective. It was almost like the Sunderland boss saw the problems and adjusted his formation accordingly. Overall, Diouf got a score of 54. Actually was our top scoring person, which is surprising because some people might think 𝗪𝗪𝗡 was or not. Gary says, tidy game down in the middle, but having him and Guido in the middle slows us down. Sloss was anonymous, slow, terrible delivery from set pieces. Just non-existent, said Harry. I just said slow. It's a big problem for us, and we know it. And we spoke about it. I spoke about it yesterday when I was getting sunburnt in Southend. This is not Tenerife. This is Southend. Yesterday, 𝗪𝗪𝗡 only got a score of 32, which was it wasn't the worst. The worst was Kilman at 31. Let's talk about Guido. Gary said, the team slows to a crawl when they're both playing. Attacks become predictable and slow. Sloths is a confusing move to pick him that raised far more questions about Potter's selection. It did show us why he was picked, particularly. Harry said, best in the midfield that says something. Again, just so slow on the turn. I've seen Milk turn faster. I said, didn't really offer anything. Some nice passes, but that was it. His overall score was a 37. That should be 4. So that should be a 4. I apologise, Guido. That should be a 4. Let's talk about Paqueta. Is there no one better than Lucas Paqueta? Gary, first half played on the right, showed hunger and fight. Second half was drifting from the left and pushing up to the strikers. When we went behind, he seemed to lose it completely and had a big hand in the second and third goals as he conceded possession in dangerous areas and played many aimless passes to nobody. Sloth lost possession at a total of 16 times today. Undoubtedly a fantastic gifted player, but he's a luxury that West Ham can't afford sometimes. Harry said was he on the pitch? Non-existent from West Ham's number 10. I was looking forward to seeing him this season. I think he found pockets of space in the first half, but his range just wasn't there, and often was overplayed. Second half, because the subs was moved in from more of that 10 role into sort of an 8 role, which I think he does enjoy a little bit. He likes that sort of combative side, but we've got enough players doing that. I want him in the business end pushing forward. In terms of Paqueta, his overall score was bang on 40. Let's talk about Jarrod Bowen, shall we? Created his own chances and also worked hard, but didn't find the net, says Brian. Gary says to be effective, Jarrod needs to be on his own game, but today's first touch was untidy and always took one touch too many. Sloss is the only player in our attack that looked like they were going to make something happen today. Harry, good chance and run in the first half, made the keeper work. Me, tried tirelessly and often double team, particularly in the second half. Couple of shots at the beginning, but couldn't get anything going. And that was the thing. He was trying to get things going on his own because there was nothing else around him, which I could feel his frustration, and particularly as captain, definitely frustrated. He got exactly the same score as Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 53. Finally, let's talk about the folk. Gary, great first half, battled for everything. It's frustrating our build-up play doesn't give any decent service to Fullkrug. I totally agree. We just don't give him the service that I think he deserves. Feed the folk and he will score. I truly believe that. Sloth said he looked leaner in a West Ham shirt, and that made absolutely no difference as he looked as mobile and agile as a battleship. There are signs of his ability to link up with others, playing cute passes into feet or even doing a deft flick into a teammate's path. But when your forward offers no threat to goal, questions have to be asked. Harry said poor again, though he's threw his body around, but no hold-up play whatsoever, making the same runs as Bowen, no link-up play with non-existent midfield. I said there was some nice link-up plays. It just shows different opinions. There was a couple of nice flicks and tricks for him. However, didn't get the supply. So what's BFG meant to do? And I totally agree. And then he becomes frustrated. And then same as everyone, then you're dropping deeper to get the ball, and you're not then being where you should be up front. And that's the issue. All in all, he got a score of 39. So I ran it up to a 4. And that's 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Bowen, not Fullkrug. What did you think those scores? I mean, I thought it was pretty fair scores. I think some slight differences of opinion, but there will always be, and that's the whole idea of Finalysis. And the more people that come on the Finalysis app, the more people be able to give maybe the more they average out, so the extreme views don't make such an issue. But yeah, what do you think? Fair enough? Those scores, I think they probably are, and in terms of descriptions, I think they were a fair description. Obviously, Gary was at the ground as well, watching the game. So a little bit more, and I think you get different perspectives when you watch it on TV to if you watch it at the stands as well, and where you're sitting as well. I mean, my position up in the box at London Stadium, you can really see formations, you can really see players' movement, you can see the gaps, the spaces, the players that are free, and when they're not utilised. But anyway. Something a bit different, and if you enjoy that, let me know in the comments below, and we'll do that more often in terms of the Finalysis roundup. And as I said, get involved if you want to get involved. It's really easy to do. Just go to Finalysis. Is it Finalysis.com? Let me just get it right. Is it Finalysis? Yeah, Finalysis.com, and you can apply to be in a Finalysis, or you can download the app on the App Store. And there is a vetting process. Just to keep the integrity of the data there as well. Apart from that, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. I will be doing the Hammers headlines, and I hope to do the Academy show live at Rush Green tonight. West Ham take on Nottingham Forest in the first PL2, their first PL2 fixture this season, obviously beating Woking in the National League Cup on Wednesday. We entertain Nottingham Forest. If you can get down there, get down there. 7 o'clock kickoff, Rush Green, £5 for adults, £1 for kids, free if you've got a season ticket. get your ass down there and cheer on the boys. I'll probably, so I think the Academy show a little bit earlier because I've got to start playing music around 6 o'clock and YouTube don't like that. So we might do it about 5:30, 5:45, that type of thing. And just give you an update of what's happening in the Academy at the moment. Until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll have it in the next couple of our, the next ones of our raffles. That'll be coming up soon. And yeah, much love. See you later, potatoes. Much love.